All right, welcome back to State of the Frogs with your head coach, Mark Campbell. Mark, thanks for joining us today. The summer, it doesn't stop, right? So just first of all, before we get into everything, just like this is 8 weeks. You're in your third week. How's it been going?
This time of year is the best. You got your new majority of our teams back now for summer training, and we get 4 hours of basketball each week and 4 hours of strength and conditioning. And so, starting week 3, the first 2 weeks are laying a foundation, making sure their bodies are right, make sure their bodies are healthy. And now weeks 3 through 8, you kind of get to crank up the dial a little bit. We just got done with a really good workout, a really good sweat. And then we got a couple of our kids that are playing on the national team, whether they're overseas or, Olivia's playing at Team USA.
Well, you're coming off an incredible season. We look at the new signage around here, which is awesome. 34-4, Elite 8, the double, the 2 trophies you have here. Before we get into the players you added, when that season ends and you're constructing this new team the way college basketball is now, what is that process like in putting together another championship team?
Yeah, it's inexact science, right? You're dealing with people, and in general, you're trying to get the right people together. And not players. There's a difference. Get the right people together, and then you put the basketball puzzle together. And so I think we did. Our staff works really hard in identifying the right people, vetting them that fit our culture, that fit our DNA. And then the second piece is obviously the basketball component. And obviously we want to spread you out. We want to shoot a lot of threes. We want really skilled basketball players and obviously tough, competitive kids. And so we had another tremendous portal class. And then we added a couple freshmen, so we're really excited about the blend of both.
Well, when you first get into those early signees in November, you bring in a German and an Australian, Clara Bielfield, if I'm saying it right, Sarah Portlock, and obviously you had Emily Hunter here. Sarah's 6'8". How are those guys blending in? That's even before we talk about the portal.
Yeah, those guys have blended in really well. Not all of them have been here yet. So Clara, really neat. She's playing with the German senior national team right now in the Eurobasket. And she's a 6'4" wing, and she is the youngest player to ever suit up for their national team, which just is a special honor. So she's out there playing against pros right now, and they're in the final stages, the medal rounds of that event over there. And then Sarah Portlock has been here, and she's from Australia in their Olympic training center over there, the Center of Excellence. And so it's been really fun to have her here. Great energy. She's been a sponge. Just has a big old smile on her face every day, and is a really, really talented, skilled center that we're excited about.
Your first, now getting into the portal players, your first one, I guess it's Talia Parker, 6'1" guard from A&M.
Yeah.
Local kid too, right? Very first one you guys signed out of the portal.
Yep, Talia, really athletic wing, long, versatile, explosive athlete. Might be the best athlete I've had a chance to coach, and is young. Got 3 years going into her sophomore year. So we're just really excited, and it's a bonus that she's a local kid, and she has her friends and family, her village that's around to support her and be at games. So that was a great addition, and I think adds a new element to our roster that we were missing a year ago.
Yeah, and then you got Olivia Miles. She was like tabbed to be number 2 in the WNBA draft. How do you get a kid like that who's going to be like a number 2 pick? And what is she going to add for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, just a really neat and special opportunity to coach her last year of college basketball. One of the best players in the country, fits us perfectly in our system and style of play. Just so skilled. I think her mind, her vision is her greatest gift on the basketball court. Has competed and played at the highest level with Team USA opportunities and competing on the biggest stage and in deep NCAA tournament runs. And she's an old vet. Right, incredibly mature, and she has 9 months, and she wants to max out her opportunities and her basketball ability before she turns the page to her pro career. But that was a very special addition, and we're really excited.
Well, you mentioned she was a generational talent, probably the best point guard, most accomplished point guard out there. 1,400 points, 600 rebounds, 600 assists. I mean, I think she's the current leader in assists of anyone playing in college basketball right now. But what was the process of getting someone like that really has their eyes set on playing professional basketball?
I think the culture that we've established, the program that we've built, has really attracted kids. Our teams have played with a great spirit, a great joy, a grittiness, a toughness, and just these 2 years to go from the 1-17 team to the Underfrogs to conference champs and Elite Eight. It's just been such a special, unique ride that we've been on. Because of that, it has attracted kids to come here, and it's our job to make sure we find the right ones to continue on with what we've built.
Yeah, and then you got a pair of 6'7". I think you got 4 total 6'7" or above, but a pair of 6'7", Clara Silva and Kennedy Basham. Like that, I think Kennedy had 53 blocks last year, and rim protectors, and Portugal, and international basketball. What is it about those two?
Basham might be the best shot blocker returning in college basketball. Long and mobile, but has great timing. And knows how to use her length and tip block. And she's an old vet that's played a lot of college basketball. So Basham is just a great addition. Helps with our interior. Obviously, losing Sedona, you can't replace Sedona with just one player. And so we have a collection of really good post players. All of them have little different talents with how they impact the game of basketball. But Kennedy, and is a great kid. It's been fun to have her around. She's another one that's just been a sponge. So we're really excited.
What is it about getting international basketball players here to play in the States in college basketball? Because you got Marta Suarez too from Cal. I mean, what is it about getting these guys, and how important is that for your team?
Yeah, we recruit the international scene really hard. Me and Chavi go to almost every FIBA event. We try to hit as many as we're allowed to hit and know the market over there. I mean, basketball is a global game. There's talent all over the world, and we've been very successful in identifying that. And obviously, we've worked many years of establishing relationships overseas. Marta being from Spain and Chavi being from Spain helps. I mean, that's a small basketball circle over there. And she's a unique stretch four, strong, powerful, skilled, and has guard skills. I mean, she can be a 3, a 4. She's kind of positionless. She really, truly is. She's kind of one of those point forwards. So it's going to be fun. People are going to really enjoy her. And wait till you see her competitive spirit and fight energy. It's contagious.
Well, she can knock down the 3 too as well.
She can really shoot it. Yep. So she's a matchup problem. She's going to be a crowd favorite.
Finally, you have 5'9" guard from San Diego State, Veronica Sheffy.
Yep.
Is that her name? Good.
Yep.
I got that right there. 11.2 points a game. I mean, when you add her to the backcourt with, the ones you already have, like Bigby and Dono and Mattie and, people like that. I mean, and Olivia, like that. Like, what is it about her? And I think that was the last piece of the puzzle.
Man, she is feisty, competitive, physical. We haven't had one like her. Downhill attacks, kind of similar to Haley, and she wants to go at you. She wants to get to the free throw line. She wants to get to the rim. Tremendous IQ, and has played a lot of minutes in her college career. A lot of these kids that we've added are veterans that have played big roles throughout their college career. And she's been a monster worker in the gym since she's stepped foot on campus, and has been a great addition. Great kid, great family, so we're really excited about her.
Awesome. So we're going to take a quick break here because we're going to bring in Maddie Scherr to kind of talk about this on Stay the Frogs with Mark Campbell when we return.
Energy does everything for us. It's all-encompassing.
We're all benefiting and affected from it.
And it is something that we all need to know about.
It is the glue that holds everything together.
TCU is powering what matters, our future.
We don't just talk about what's needed, we focus on results.
The Ralph Lowe Energy Institute is creating a world where energy is affordable, sustainable, and reliable.
Welcome back to another edition of State of the Frogs with Mark Campbell. We are joined by Maddie Scherr here, who's a graduate student here at TCU. And hasn't really played a game yet, but really you've got to be looking forward to that the light at the end of the tunnel for really getting in here. I know you've been practicing and stuff like that, but how excited are you to really get back when you see that light at the end of the tunnel?
Gosh, I'm so excited. There's not even really words I can express how excited I am to suit up and get out there and play that first game. Obviously, it's been a long journey, not what I expected, but that just makes it, all that more special for me.
You mentioned, and when you kind of mentioned that you were going to take, the medical red shirt and things like that, that it was the first time in your career that you'd really been out. Like going through that last year, kind of how did you get yourself through that?
I feel like I'm still working through it, honestly. But yeah, just the people and support I had around me was completely unmatched, from our athletic trainer and that whole staff and our coaches, my teammates, my family. Everybody in my corner has really been super supportive, and the people who actually fixed me helped my injury. They've been absolutely amazing. My PTs. It's really about the people. I definitely wouldn't be able to be where I am without them. Yeah.
Well, Mark kind of talked about you being an assistant coach. Was there something maybe that you learned more about the game of basketball? Because you're looking at it through a different lens over the past year, being a coach to these players. And the season you guys had last year was phenomenal, and you were definitely a part of that. What was it throughout that time when you were on the sideline looking at basketball that you may have learned maybe about yourself or about the game of basketball to become a better basketball player now when you finally do get on the court?
Yeah. I definitely had a lot of time over on the bench, and it was very different. Never been in that situation before. I learned a lot. I'm much more stressed on the bench than on the court is what I've realized. But I think the game, it really slows down for you when you're watching. I think one of the things I was able to pick up on is just noticing my teammates and how they respond to certain things that I think when I'm playing you don't necessarily think of. Because you're focusing on the game and other things. But I really was able to learn how they interact with the coaches and who responds well to what, kind of just learning more about players and individuals and what gets them going, and maybe certain movements that they do on the court that could affect something in the future that they do on the court, stuff like that I feel like I really was able to pick up on, and I'll be able to use that when I was talking to my teammates. Then if someone comes to the bench, I'd be like, hey, here's what I saw, or, have a different perspective, because I'm not actually an assistant coach, I'm their teammate.
Right.
So I feel like it really helped me with my relationship with my teammates and put me in a better position to be a leader for the group.
So when you look at this season, this is your second summer with TCU. When you look at this, I know it's hard to compare the two because, you were out there last year a little bit before you got hurt, but when you look at this team, I think there's 9 newcomers. I think 6 of those are transfers, 3 early signees, and then the 5 or so returners, you being one of those. How do the teams or how do the summers differ so far? I know you're only 3 weeks into it, but it's a different team.
Yeah, it's a brand new start every year. We are not the team last year. Even though, we were a part of that journey, it's a new year, new group, new mission. Everything changes, and you got to kind of hit that reset. Just because the group last year did so well, it doesn't mean we're entitled to that. So I think as long as we go in with that attitude, we still have, big goals and want to complete all those things, but we're not blind to that. Hey, we're starting back here just like everybody does. So.
Yeah, and you guys are 3 practices into it. I believe it's 8 weeks or 3 weeks into it or something like that.
Yeah.
3 weeks into it's a lot more than 3 practices. But how has it really been, for you and getting yourself ready for that final, that return for you? Are there certain things that you are kind of working on or trying to work to other than just actually getting out there and being full contact?
Mainly it's, working on getting out there, being healthy. I think, obviously I consider myself a vet now, being old enough in these streets to where, I just need to make sure my body is healthy and, let the game come to me in other ways. So that's definitely the main mission. And thankfully I have a great group, and Mark has been, super supportive and, trust me as a player and person, and working hard in my journey as well. So.
I guess Clara Silva was from Kentucky as well. Did you know her prior to her coming here?
I did not. No, we'd never crossed paths. I left when she was a freshman, so we never crossed paths.
Okay, well, the last thing here, it seems like TCU is a basketball school now, right? It doesn't seem like it. It feels like it. It's definitely there. What is it about TCU that, like Mark, TCU, Fort Worth, the TCU women's basketball program, TCU in general, that attracts someone like yourself, who did some huge things at Kentucky, but the rest of these players, what is it about this place that attracts the best players in the country?
Yeah. In my opinion, I think it's Mark, the staff does an amazing job. It starts with, the head man. It starts with, the people around you. And I think our staff is second to none in the way that they know how to create a culture that is a culture of winning and also family and also getting the basketball piece together. And that is a really rare combination in college sports as a whole. And I think they've just absolutely nailed that. So,
and part of that's Fort Worth, right? So you gotta like the place you live too. And
oh yeah, all of that's just bonus, right? That just makes it even better. The place, this is by far, I've told everyone, this is by far the best place that I've lived in college. There's so much to do, so many more food options, which is great. Love that. Super warm here. You can tan all the time in the summer. We always joke that Nat, the more she tans in the summer, the more shots she makes. So. Yeah, that's definitely a bonus. But yeah, the fans, the atmosphere, it's all here. All those boxes are checked, and that's what makes this place really special. And as you can see last year, if you build it, they'll come. And they did. And we had that, and we're just going to keep building on that.
You have any cool food places you like to kind of go to?
Oh, man. I had not, but Sweet Green is, I know, a lot of places. But back at home, we never had a Sweet Green, so I'm really loving that. That's been a great option for me.
There you go. You heard that, guys. Sweet Green, that's where you're going for dinner, whatever it is. But Maddie, we really appreciate you coming here. We really look forward to seeing you on the court.
Thank you.
But this has been State of the Frogs with Mark Campbell. We'll be back after a word from our friends, Richard's Rainwater. Thank you.
What do you see when you look up at the clouds? At Richard's Rainwater, we see the greatest source of pure, delicious water looking right back down at us. We've invented a simple, powerful technology to collect and bottle rainwater. Our process begins with the rain. When clouds become saturated, droplets fall from the sky. Rainfall is a naturally cleansing event. During the first few minutes, the raindrops clean the atmosphere and wash away any dirt or debris from surface areas. At this cleanest point in the rain cycle, we collect the pure raindrops into large storage vessels. Then, we use a simple, yet effective combination of ozone and microfiltration to ensure our rainwater surpasses the highest drinking water standards. We pour the pure, refreshing rainwater into glass bottles and aluminum cans, packaging as infinitely renewable as the water itself. Richard's Rainwater is building a network of collection systems across the country to ensure our rainwater is local everywhere. The purest, best-tasting water comes from the sky. Richard's Rainwater, sip the sky.
Thanks for Maddie Scherr for joining us here on State of the Frogs with Mark Campbell. Maddie Scherr is back.
Yeah.
I know that she's not officially back till like July, but what is it about her and how excited you are to really get her on the court?
Maddie, I've known for a long time. I had the chance to coach her earlier in her college career. And so she's been on a long journey. This is her 6th year of college basketball. Maddie's just so mature, such an amazing young person. And now she's healthy. It took her a while to get her body right. So she, which is not easy. And she stayed locked in last year, was an incredible teammate. There's no way it was easy to be on the sideline and watch the season unfold that we had. And so she wanted to be out there. And so the blessing of it, though, is we get an opportunity to coach her this year. And so she's a versatile playmaking guard, great size, long, elite defender. And something about when you redshirt and you sit out a year, for most of these players, it's the first time that's ever happened. So now all of a sudden they have a coach's perspective. They've heard and seen the game from a coach's lens. It's almost a cheat code. And now you come back and you're a little older, you're a little wiser. And so we're expecting really big things from Maddie this year.
Awesome. So Maddie's kind of a returner, but really she hadn't really played for you guys yet. But you got 6 transfers, 3 early signees, and then your 5 newcomers. Like, you got Dono out there killing it, Big B, Nat, Aaliyah. Like, what is it about those guys that you're excited for them to be back as well?
Yeah, our veterans, man, what a great group we have coming back. They've been in the fight, they've been in the trenches, they know what it takes, and they're great kids. But they're all hungry. They got to taste it a year ago. And winning's contagious. You want to get back and have another opportunity to make a run at a Final Four. Winning league titles is incredibly hard at the Power 4 level. And so that group, we need them to do a great job in the locker room. We need them to set the tone with their leadership and toughness and work ethic. And I fully believe they'll do a tremendous job with it.
Yeah, and I know you don't have everyone here. Obviously, you got these guys international, and coming back. But is there a specific theme that you guys have for, and it seems like, you got grit here, you got under frogs, you got all that stuff. But is there, for this summer, new team, is there something that you really want to get out of it, consistent?
Yeah. Our mantra this year is to just be a blue-collar group this summer, to really work hard, to have a humble spirit. And in college athletics right now, with all the resources, the facilities, the stuff that we get, it's easy to take your foot off the gas. I think that's human nature, not just in sports, but just as humans, right? And so, and when you win, it's easy for people to think you have arrived. But last year's season has zero impact on the outcome of this season. And so you got to make sure you turn the page. And you got to start at rock bottom, and you got to attempt to climb that mountain all over again. And the only way to do that is to be a hard-working group of people. And so our mantra this summer is just to be blue-collar in everything that we do.
Last thing, and we'll let you get out of here. Haley Van Lith had a big-time performance the other day. I think she had 14 points. You got, Agnes playing in Australia. Sedona just finished up in Lebanon, won a championship there. I think Una was here at practice, and she's been in the Serbian national. Have you had a chance to talk to those guys? And it's cool to have people like Una come back and kind of be here with the team. Like, what is it? That's got to make you feel good as well, right?
It's so fun to watch your journey. So Madison Connor just signed. She's going to play professionally in the top league in Spain. Una's working through where she's going to play, and obviously she just got back training with their Serbian national team, their senior Olympic team. And so they've been popping into the gym. And how I best say, this program is theirs. And not just the kids we've coached, but the players before. Amy's always around, and she'll come in. And so this program's theirs. At the same time, this team is a brand new team trying to form a new identity. And so you're trying to blend the two, where you want your veterans to come back and be around and share their wisdom and their experiences, while you're still trying to shape a brand new group of portal players, of high school players, and making sure they're creating their own identity and they're on their own journey. And so it's a fun time. I think we have really laid an amazing foundation as a program that players want to come back to. And it's really fun to see. I know we've gone and went and watched Haley when she played against the Wings here, and so our program went out there to support her. And it's fun to follow her journey. And so there's just a lot of neat things. And what's crazy, when you zoom out, it's only been 24 months. Like, a lot has happened in 24 months if you really think about it.
Well, Mark, we really appreciate your time here. And we look forward to getting another season started. But we really appreciate everything. You know, this is exciting. But this has just been a summer edition of the State of the Frogs with Mark Campbell, presented by Richard's Rainwater. Thanks a lot.
Hey, good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Winner stays on 3, 1, 2, 3!